Welcome to the Whole Enchilada, a community of high achievers that fight the status quo, rebel against mediocrity, and make life happen. Let's go. Hello, Enchilada Nation. Excited to be back with you today. And today we have a little bit of a different topic we're going to be talking about. Today is a solo cast, which means I am my own guest. And we're going to be talking about something that I think is important and super relevant to me right now as I am getting ready to leave town on vacation today. Yes, my family and I are getting on a plane together, where a lot of times I'm getting on a plane by myself to get out of town for business. Today, I get to take all of my kids with me on a family vacation for spring break, which we're really excited about. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to really capitalize and take advantage of being out of town. As entrepreneurs, a lot of times we are heading out of town and work tends to be lingering over the vacation. We're checking our emails, we're getting the calls, there's little fires going on. And even if there isn't fires going on, we tend to be worried there are fires going on, and it kind of impedes on the whole purpose of going on vacation. And sometimes we come back from vacation as if we didn't get any rest at all. I know I've been there, you've probably been there yourself. So today we're going to talk about how to be purposeful with going on vacation, which sounds almost like a contradiction to what vacation is, because vacation for a lot of us is completely unplugging. But for a lot of us that are on the go and on the hustle and our brains are constantly at work, it takes being purposeful to actually do that on vacation. So a lot of times you've heard me talk about having a preset objective when it comes to running a meeting, going on a sales call, is having a preset objective. What is the desired outcome that I'm going to create in that meeting? It's going to be the very same topic with going on vacation. Have a preset objective of what it is you're trying to accomplish, or what would be the perfect vacation for you. So this type of vacation for me is spring break for my kids. We're headed out of the country. So a preset objective for me is to make sure that I get a one-on-one connection with each one of my kids on this trip. Even though I adore my kids at a high level, we see each other almost daily when I'm in town. I love being able to fill in and go pick them up from dance and have those short little conversations here and there in between. This gives me an opportunity to really slow down and let them see me at a slower pace, where we can get a little bit deeper into creating memories and having conversations with each other, which I absolutely love. There's nobody on this planet I love more than my wife and kids, and I get to spend some really concerted, focused energy with them. The other thing that I'm really excited about this is my kids get to see a different version of me on vacation, because I am constantly so filled with my calendar that they get these little pockets of me, but they never see me really get to slow down and unplug. And this is why vacation to me, and not just a vacation a year, vacation every couple of years, is we make very specific vacation time every few months, because unplugging, getting away from my office and being purposefully away with them is when I can really slow down and let them see the other side of me, which tends to be a fun, more relaxed, kid-like version of myself, which is important for them to experience. And honestly, it's important for me to stay in touch with that person. In fact, a few years ago, someone very close to me had mentioned they'd known me for a long time, and they saw me working my guts out, and they made a comment to me that actually it stung a little bit. And the comment was, and I can't remember exactly how they said it, but the comment they said was, "Man, you used to be the fun guy. You used to be the fun guy." And it just stung me, because in my mind, I still want to be the fun guy. I still like to have a good laugh. I like to play the pranks. I like to just kick loose and do the unexpected. But I had been so committed to pushing my businesses forward and achieving success as I defined it at the time, that from this person's perception, I was no longer the fun guy. It was what I used to be. And so one of the things I have to do on a regular basis, and this is, again, being purposeful for me, is if that's something that's important to me and I want to stay in touch with of being the fun guy, I've got to make sure that I create an environment which allows me to slow down and be the fun guy. I find that if I can do that with my family on vacation and slow down and let that side of me out, it tends to show up more often when I'm back to work, other than when I go on these long drawn out periods of time when that fun side of me doesn't show up. So as you guys know, with my personal mission vision statement, there are 3 buckets. The first 2 buckets are all about building people and building businesses. So the first one is I am a bridge builder. The second one is I am an empire builder. And the third one is I'm an adventurer. And so this type of vacation for sure for me is filling that adventure bucket. There's one line of my personal mission vision statement that says, every culture has a lesson for me and I commit to learn it. So this is another one of my preset objectives when I'm heading out of town, particularly when I tend to be going to a new place, someplace I've never been, and particularly a country that I've never been, or a city within a country I've never been, is what are those hidden treasures? It's, you remember when you were a kid and you would go out of town and you'd look for that souvenir, that little key ring or whatever it is. The souvenirs I like to collect for myself are these cultural lessons. What is the cultural norm in that location I'm going that has been a time-tested truth for that area? And why has it been a time-tested truth for that area? And how do I take that lesson and bring it home for me? One of the times that really came clear to me to create that as a rule for myself when I was vacationing was traveling in Switzerland. The Swiss are known for their watches being a really precise mechanical piece of jewelry. Well, it became apparent to me when you're in Switzerland, the train schedules are always on time. They are precise. You can like take the money to the bank if you were betting on if a train would show up on time in Switzerland. And as silly as that is I had just really admired how the train schedules and the train systems were run in Switzerland. And that was my lesson, my cultural lesson for that trip was they took pride in the fact that their train system ran on time and ran meticulously well. So I look for those small little hidden cultural moments. So I'm excited to look for that with my family on this trip. So preset objectives, number 1 is one-on-one connection with my kids, really creating memories that stand out, that they will remember, where in 10, 15, 20 years from now, I can sit down with my kids and say, hey, remember that trip we went to Honduras? And remember what we did in Mexico? And they're going to remember that. I've got to be really purposeful that it doesn't blend in with every other memory we've created together, but I want this to be a specific memory for them in that one-on-one time. Number 2 is per my mission vision statement. What is that cultural lesson that I will be looking for that I'll be able to apply to my life as it stands today? Number 3 is, and this is, again, it sounds silly that I have to tell myself this, and maybe you aren't as dense as I am, but I've got to be really purposeful with the idea of personally recharging. So even though the majority of this vacation is me focused on trying to create these memories and time with other people, it is also important because we go so hard as entrepreneurs building businesses that I take some time to recharge. And for me to do that, I've actually got to unplug from work-related items. That means that I'm going to take, I very rarely read I very rarely read fiction books that aren't about something I'm learning or self-developing at that time. But I always pick 1 or 2 fiction books that are feel good, completely just mind-numbing, outside of the normal realm of what I read, just to completely unplug and get my mind off of those current obstacles or challenges or goals that I'm working on. So that is another piece for this, is making sure that I'm going to recharge myself. I'm going to relax. I'm going to clear my mind. I'm going to really enjoy that time with my family on this trip. Next for me, it almost sounds like it's in contradiction to the one I just gave you of recharging, is one of my favorite things to do on vacation is very strategic thinking time. Now, this has to be only on the big picture, the big vision, because I don't know about you, if I use my vacations correctly, I come back re-energized, excited to get back to work, not dreading coming back to work and longing to stay on vacation, but I actually come back like, it's time, let's go, let's get back at this, let's create a better version of myself. And so it's really important for me to take some really strategic thinking time and make it about the big picture. What is it really that I'm trying to accomplish? I have a list of that I keep in my phone, and it's the title of the list is things that make me happy. And these are the things that, like, really down to my soul make me happy on a deep level. And every time I'm on vacation, I pull this list back out and say, are these still the things that truly make me happy? And am I giving an appropriate time and energy to these things? Then I relook at my overall bigger picture organizational chart and my bigger goals of what I'm trying to accomplish, the end game, that end result of what I'm trying to complete. Is that still relevant and important to me? And then I get strategic on what are the big items, the big stepping stones that stand between where I currently am and me getting there. And doing this on vacation for me, for some reason, I get better clarity around that, and the smoke and the fire and the little whirlwind that's going around on a day-to-day basis as we're in the trenches of our business are kind of unseen in that moment that I've taken the time to recharge myself, and I take strategic time looking at the bigger vision. So that is another preset objective for me, is strategic thinking time on the bigger vision and making sure that I've got clarity on what the end game is. The last comment I'll make on this isn't necessarily a preset objective, but something very important to do when you're going on vacation. For you to accomplish these preset objectives of going on vacation, I really encourage you to trust the leverage you have in place. Don't try to micromanage from afar. This is a great opportunity for the leaders and people within your world to step up and cover what you do. This is an opportunity for them. This shouldn't be seen as a burden for them to have you gone. This should be seen as an opportunity for them to step up to the occasion, to show you that they are worth being within your organization and closing that gap. So trust the leverage you have in place. Let them take on a little heavier burden while you're out of town, because there's going to be a time that you do the same for them back, because it's important for them to take their vacation time as well. Lastly, with this trusting your leverage, one of the things that will become apparent to you as you come back in town is what were the things that worked really well and operated without you, and what were the items within your business that did kind of crumble without you being there to keep them buoyed up and standing straight. Well, that's an opportunity to learn that that system or that thing needs better leverage around it, so that next time you go on vacation, it will hold its own, or the system or the procedure will work on its own a little bit better. If you're constantly trying to manage that from afar, you'll never know that the actual procedure or leverage piece is actually broken. So as a side note, not necessarily a preset objective here, but trust the leverage you have in place. And then as you come back, be perceptive of what worked well and keep leaning into that piece of leverage. What pieces of leverage kind of fell apart that may need some upgrading or changing. So to wrap this up, Enchilada Nation, number one is to live a balanced life. The whole purpose of the whole enchilada is to live a high life in every aspect. And part of that, a big part of that, is what we do outside of work, not what we do inside of work. In fact, if you look at the big categories of life through physical fitness, family relationships, spirituality, those ones all fall outside of the workplace. And we need to give them just as much time and energy as we do as the things inside of a workplace. I would beg to challenge, if we pulled out your calendar today and looked at all the things you have calendared for the rest of the year, the majority of what you find on your calendar is all work related, which is great because we are driven. We want to achieve on a high level in the business world, but is it balanced enough that you're giving enough time to those other important buckets in your world? This is why when we talk about planning the year, one of the very first things I get on my calendar are all my vacations for the year. And if you've been following me for a while now, you know I love my vacation time just as much as I love winning within my businesses. So remember, for your next vacation, identify when is that next vacation. If it's the tickets are not already purchased, get on your computer, buy the tickets, commit to that trip. And then as you're approaching that, start having the conversation with yourself. What is my preset objective for going on this vacation? What would it feel like to have the perfect vacation, not only just in the activities that I do there, but the memories and things that I accomplish? Again, the preset objectives that I'm looking for on this trip is making sure that I have really specific one-on-one connections with my kids and my wife, creating memories that will stand out. Number two, preset objective is every culture has a lesson for me, and I commit to learn it, looking for that gemstone of a lesson that is out there waiting for me to find it as my souvenir on this trip. Number 3 is making sure that I really recharge myself and unplug and really connect with that other side of me that is not work and disciplined and driven related. Number 4 is that strategic thinking time of stepping back, saying, I feel recharged. Let me reconnect with the long-term vision. What really does make me happy? And am I still on the course to create that long-term happiness for myself and my family? I challenge you to do the same. Get that next vacation on your calendar. Think through your preset objectives. Thank you for being part of our community. Keep plugging in. Don't forget, go follow me on Facebook. Go follow me on Instagram. And if you're finding value with these conversations, please, there's other people just like you that I would love to connect with and get them as part of the Enchilada Nation as well. And I'm wishing you a great week, and I'm on vacation. Let's get out of here. Thanks so much, Enchilada Nation. Don't forget, go live life on your terms.